on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. That's number one. There's a consensus on that. The Democratic chairman of the Judiciary Committee, the Democratic President of the United States of America, the Democratic Attorney General, the Republican leader of this effort, Senator Hatch, the Republican senator from Texas, we all agree on that. Now, we can find some fringe folks in the study groups on the right wing and left wing, libertarians and left-wingers in my party who say, no, that's not what we should do. But politically, that consensus has been arrived at. I acknowledge there was not that consensus in the 60s. There is today. There's a second thing that we all have agreed upon, and that is unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now, not out of a liberal instinct for love, brother, and humanity, although I think that's a good instinct, but for simple, pragmatic reasons. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And, Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
On the air with breaking news about President Biden's son, Hunter. In a stunning development, he has just pled guilty to 9 federal tax charges in a Los Angeles courtroom. Hunter Biden is charged with filing false tax returns and not paying more than $1 million in taxes. His guilty plea came after a last-minute attempt today to avoid a trial while still maintaining his innocence. The case is now in the hands of the judge who will decide on the sentence. Let's get right to our NBC legal team, Laura Jarrett and Danny Savell.
Across the nation to defund the police. But what does that mean? What could it look like? And will it make our communities safer? ABC's Byron Pitts with more.
We have to bring back law and order. Now, whether or not in a place like Chicago you do stop and frisk, which worked very well, Mayor Giuliani is here, it worked very well in New York, it brought the crime rate way down. But you take the gun away from criminals that shouldn't be having it. We have gangs roaming the street, and in many cases, they're illegally here, illegal immigrants, and they have guns, and they shoot people. And we have to be very strong, and we have to be very vigilant. We have to know what we're doing. Right now, our police, in many cases, are afraid to do anything. We have to protect our inner cities because African-American communities are being decimated by crime.
Your 2 minutes is...
But again, count 1, count 2, count 3, all guilty, count 4, guilty, count 5, guilty, count 6, guilty, and you can see them on the screen here. And in fact, up to count 13.
Yep, all guilty, 14 guilty. They're being read right at this moment. Count 15 guilty.
We're watching the verdicts in real time.
Guilty
count
also.
16, yes.
Count 17 guilty. Count 18 guilty. Count 19 guilty. Count 20 guilty. We are waiting on count 21, but so far counts 1 through 20, the jury has determined he is guilty. Count 21, guilty. Count 22, guilty. We are coming up on count 23, but we are learning all counts. The former president is guilty.
For falsifying business records in relation to a $130,000 payment to a porn star. Count 28 guilty, and it looks like all of them are looking as if it's going to be guilty. Count 31, guilty. 32, guilty. 33, guilty. And all counts 34. The former president of the United States found guilty on all 34 felony counts, guilty by a jury of 12.